So Halloween Horror Nights dropped a bomb, and when I mean dropped a bomb, meaning they pretty much dropped everything else that they had to announce for this year's Halloween Horror Nights 30 Years, 30 Fears. Before we get to all the announcements, my God, there's just so much to unpack. Stay tuned. We're going to talk all about it. We're also going to have some future videos on the channel talking about the anticipation list. You're going to want to stay tuned for that because it might surprise you when I talk about. Just stay tuned for that. Anyway, if you're new around these parts, hello. Hi, I am Zombie Chris, and I am the host, creator, runner of this little platform here on YouTube. I am also a featured member over on the Boo Bros, where we cover all sorts of Halloween haunts type of stuff. All from East Coast to West Coast, we got you covered over on Boo Bros. So we can start with the originals that was announced. That was the rest. I think this is one of the only years that I feel like we don't have a lot of IPs, which is weird to say. So welcome to Scary Horror in the Heartland. I wanted to say Scary, Ohio. But so this house is pretty much a mashup of things that were featured before at Halloween Horror Nights and some that they actually talk about in the description. It says from the ghastly cave of vampires from the Hive, if anyone remembers that. The decrepit attic of Dead End and disturbing meets human deli from Leave It to Cleaver. There is no escaping the evil of Carrie once and for all. I'm actually kind of surprised there. I'm surprised that they're throwing Dead End, which I feel like is such a underrated house for Horror Nights history. I'm surprised like a lot of people are going to be like, Dead End? I don't remember this. It was at that weird 22, 23. Yeah, so it was right around that weird moment for Horror Nights where we just came from Lady Luck. It was the year 22 or HHN 22. So it was kind of a weird year for them. But I felt like it was such an underrated house because it was like a ghost house, basically. It was very creepy, had a lot of like weird stuff and cobwebs, and it was really done pretty cool in my opinion. I only got to see it I think once because I was scare acting back then, so I think I only got the opportunity once to see it. But from what I remember, it was very creepy. The Hive, yeah, I'm kind of halfway on that one, but you know, I got to throw some stuff in there, and it's cool to see the throwback to Meets, which that's a long old school right there for you all. 30 years of horror, and a lot of stuff has got to be jam-packed in there from Scary, Ohio, or Scary. So hopefully this will be on the Unmasking Horror Tour, and there's going to be a lot of Easter eggs and stuff. Stay tuned for a video on that because we have it booked for opening weekend. So we will definitely be trying to get that video out to you guys as soon as possible. So stay tuned for that. Up next, we have the house that I did not see coming until it was like the switcheroo. You know, we were debating if it was Halloween 3, if it was Creepshow, and then it was Legendary Truth. I thought they were going to do, you know, maybe the fan theory, like a director and usher house together type of thing. Nope, it's Case Files Unearthed Legendary Truth. So what's cool about this is they're actually tying this back to HHN 18, which was Bloody Mary's year. That's probably the only time I could say that because, you know, we're sworn to secrecy not to say her name when talking about Halloween Horror Nights. We can't say Bloody Mary. Okay, I think we're all right. But it's great to see Boris is back. He is investigating the supernatural. He's going to be in New York City, so this house is going to be Looks to be, it says throughout New York City, so expect it to kind of have that urban type of feel, maybe a city block, buildings. That'd be kind of cool to kind of do that. Although it's in the Shrek building, not quite sure how big or how tall they can go with that, but hopefully they can. So it says we're going to be facing some ghouls, poltergeists, and terrors in this house, all while trying to solve the biggest mystery of them all, how they will survive. Now, if the artwork is any indication on this, we're not quite sure. What's weird about this, and I will be doing a video about this, so stay tuned about something legendary truth-ish. That's going to be a video coming out very, very soon, possibly in the next day or two, so stay tuned for that one. It's going to be cool. But notice on the website you cannot click on this. Everything else you can click on. I'll just leave you with that clue right there. So in the picture, if you get a good look at it, it looks like there's a bunch of like creatures, maybe urban legend type creatures. It looks like there's like a Yeti, maybe like the Jersey Devil, because there's some kind of thing with like a devil horns. It'd be kind of cool if some of these monsters were like monsters from like urban, like the Yeti or the Jersey Devil. Because we were supposed to have sort of a house based upon different like mythical like legend creature things, but that never kind of sprung about. So it'd be kind of cool if they brought it back with this. I felt like we knew about this house for so long. The Pumpkin Lord is going to be in there. It's going to be like this grand facade with pumpkins. We're going to be like kind of going through the pumpkins into the house. It's going to look fabulous at night. I'm sure the pumpkins are going to be having their glowing effect. It's going to be cool to see. So in this house, it states that we are going to be going to a dilapidated haunted house, ominous graveyard, and a wicked witch's cottage. All sounds like grand, fabulous travel destinations this fall in Orlando. I'm ecstatic about this house. If it's going to be sort of like a sequel to The Scarecrow, if it's going to be just as intense, and then like a haunted house, a graveyard, and a wicked witch's cottage, all three of those sound terrifying. So I am sold on this. But where will it fall on my anticipation list? Going to stay tuned for that. And Puppet Theater, Captive Audience, a house that we've seen over and over again since last year. We've seen pretty much parts of it. We've seen Greg Nicotero walking around it with a mask, and Michaelo. And we've pretty much seen a majority of this house. It's finally announced. The facade looks really cool. I don't want to put up a picture because it's behind the scenes, and you'll see it very soon anyway. And up next, the surprise of them all, Revenge of the Tooth Fairy, got announced. As if anybody was thinking it wasn't going to come back, but it did. Revenge of the Tooth Fairy is back, and there's not much in the description changing. Nothing really different in the description. Nothing mentioned. Not an update. Not like, new scares or anything. Same house we had at HHN Light. All right, so now it is time to talk about the scare zones. And so what happened was Scare Zone started construction, and they left a little sign uncovered that said Crypt TV, and it was put out there, hey, this is official, it's Crypt TV, and then it was covered because, we can't let the secret get out that it's Crypt TV, even though it was well known for a little while there. But Crypt TV is going to be taking over the San Francisco zone. It's going to feature some of the monsters from the Look-See Sunny Family Cult. We got Hairclaw and Miss Auntie. So I'm excited for this zone. I think it's going to be great. It just depends on how they kind of function within the zone. The monsters going to be on stages mostly. I mean, the way it's shaped, it looks kind of cool. Some of the stage areas look really, really good, in my opinion. I wasn't really in the know about Crypt TV before this, but certainly after this, I think it did its job. I'm definitely going to be checking out some of these shorts before Halloween Horror Nights starts. And up next, 30 Years, 30 Fears. This is the scare zone everyone is so excited about. Everyone's like, oh my God, that marquee, the flames, I'm sure. It's going to be colors, fog. But we don't know what's really going in the zone. So all we know is that maybe there might be some icons. Maybe. So we do know there will be chainsaw wielding characters. There's going to be some beastly monsteritis. I don't even know why they put these words in there. And creatures of blood and bone, which doesn't really tell us anything from the history of Horror Nights, what's going to be in there, other than it's just going to be some chainsaw people and some mix from past characters, but it doesn't state if there's going to be icons or no icons, or what other things are we going to see. Are we going to see Tricks and Foons, Nightmare maybe? I don't know. And we have Seek and Destroy, which sadly it's not a Metallica scare zone like everyone was thinking it was going to be. This is pretty much the alien type thing that we were thinking, or kind of the rumors we're talking about here. So it says the controller is taking over, scanning the city streets for humans and turning them into fuel. With the regime loyal followers hiding in the darkness, endless hunting, guests must either join them or be destroyed. Now, I would want like a metal rock type of like soundtrack for this, maybe like some Sith rock or something. I don't know, it'd be kind of cool. I don't know, the zone is pretty cool, it's well developed, but like I said, we'll just have to see when everything's kind of finalized. How's the costumes gonna look? Are we gonna see the controller, or is it just gonna be like projection kind of done on the building? I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. It looks like there's going to be maybe like a mini stage show or some type of character. That seems like a staple now with New York. Kind of wish they would maybe skip out on that once in a while, but we'll have to see when it kind of comes into formation. And up next, up in Central Park, we have the Terror Queen in Gorewood Forest. So the Terror Queen is back, and her wicked plans is to remake the world in her terrifying image. Guests will find nowhere to hide from her menacing minions as they harvest fresh blood to feed her ever-growing power. So Terror Queen's back. She has Central Park. I'm pretty sure she's going to be on a platform. I mean, not much else I can say on that one. And up next, finally, Eddie gets his due. And no, I'm not talking about Eddie-tainment. Eddie, who is Jack Smith's brother, Jack the Clown's brother, basically. He's back. He's turning Halloween Horror Nights film a gory Hollywood sequel in lights, camera, action, Eddie's Revenge, which is actually a throwback to a scare zone that was featured in Hollywood Boulevard for lights, camera, action the first time. But this time it's Eddie's Revenge. He's going to be in there. It says, except this time, the monsters are real. Vampires, evil clowns, creatures from the watery depths, and horrific beings from the events past will roar on the scene where guests will make their short and painful cameo. So we already know, like, it was revealed that Vamp 55 was a part of this. That's where you get the vampires part. Evil clowns, I don't know where that's going to come from. Creatures from the water depths. That would be cool if it was a throwback to Spawning, aka Spawning. I don't think it would be. I think it's going to be from, was it Depths of Fear? One of those creatures is probably going to be there. But I'm excited to kind of see what other like past scare zones or past things are featured in here. Maybe from houses, maybe from other zones. That'd be kind of interesting to see. Not quite sure how the rest of the setup is gonna run with these, but interested to see, to say the least. And roundabout, we have the actual 2 shows coming this year. We have Minion and Mayhem Carnage Factory. Jack the Clown will lure guests into a trance, and they'll awaken in the heart of Insidious Factory with pulsing lasers, pounding electrifying music frozen with fear, showcasing the notorious Halloween Horror Nights icons and frightening scenes from the Netflix acclaimed series The Haunting of Hill House, the legendary classic Monsters, and the iconic slasher film Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't quite know how this is gonna go. I mean, like, those things are cool, but I'm not dying to see some scenes from Texas Chainsaw, much less some scenes from Haunting of Hill House. The first go around of a marathon of did I say Minions of Mayhem? I think I did. So the first time of Marathon of Mayhem was just, it was absolutely perfect. Like I said, time frame, everything in it, the way they mixed in Stranger Things, the 80s, Killer Clowns, it was perfect to me. Like, it couldn't get any better. Will they make a good sequel to that? I guess we're just going to have to wait and see on that. I'm not quite sold right now. But maybe it'll be good. Maybe I will go back and slap myself from this video. But, yeah. So Halloween Nightmare Fuel, which is not what we were expecting at all. I mean, some people want Bill and Ted. Some people wanted like a Carnival of Carnage, another type show. We really got neither. So here we go. Nightmare Fuel, where nocturne creatures, aerialists of the night, and frightful fire performers come alive to the crackling beat of rock, metal, and electronica music. This, I'm going to be honest, this show, unless it's really, really good, this looks like something I would watch once and be like, I'm good. I'm going to spend time in the houses and the zones. This doesn't look like something I would even care to see more than once. And just seeing it once is like a struggle. Because right now, from just reading that press, reading the description, I'm really not interested in this one. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will blow my mind. Maybe I'll be like, oh my God, that show was amazing. Like, what was I thinking? But that is it as far as the announcements. I don't think there's really anything else I can throw in there. We talked about the shows, talked about scare zones, and we talked about the rest of the houses. And that is it for this lineup. What do you guys think? Leave it down in the comment section. What was your biggest surprise from this, basically this bomb of announcement? Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for being patient. If you did watch the update video, thank you for being supportive, and thank you guys for tuning in for that. If you didn't watch it, and real quick summary, I hurt my back earlier this week, so that's why I couldn't kind of rush to get the videos out. Between that and someone in my department at work just pretty much quitting and leaving only 2 of us in that department, kind of put a lot of like workload on us. So between the back hurting, that was a really serious thing. Between that and then now having to work and try to figure out how they're going to do the scheduling with only 2 of us, that's but anyway, that is it. Thank you all for being supportive for the channel. Thank you all for the likes and the thumbs up and stuff. Oh my God, it's been going like crazy with these videos. So thank you all. I can't thank you all enough for the support on the channel. And I will see you on another video about a legendary truth coming, possibly. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all. Peace out.